Let's pretend you're just listening, not judging, not fixing, just here, even if only in the way the sun keeps warming the chair you used to sit in. Since you left, I've tried to talk to you in 1,000 different ways. I wrote you letters that dissolved in the shower. I whispered to the trees, hoping they'd carry my voice further than I ever could. I watched the wind dance through the curtains and pretended it was your hand reaching back. I've realised something. Just like matter, nothing ever disappears. It transforms, that's all. Your absence? It didn't erase you. It reconfigured you. Into air, into silence, into memory. Into me. You used to say that everything had its season. That winter only feels eternal if we forget how spring works. And God, I hated that back then. But now, I get it. Now I live it. I breathe it. I'll tell you this because someone has to hear it, even if it's just me. At first I broke. Not all at once. I cracked like old paint, flaking off piece by piece, until I couldn't recognise the walls I lived in. Every morning was an echo of the last. Every night, a rerun of questions I couldn't answer. Where did you go? Why so soon? Why not one more moment? But then, something shifted. Not in a dramatic movie ending kind of way. No, it was small, quiet, like when snow melts just enough to drip from the edge of a roof. Unnoticeable, until it's not. I started building around the hole you left, not to cover it. No, I honoured it. I built around it the way vines grow around ruins. Slow, tender, persistent. And through that, I changed. I'll tell you, I didn't become whole again. I became different. I stopped chasing the person I was before you left, because maybe that version of me needed to go too. You didn't just leave a space. You left a blueprint, a map etched in every part of me that still aches and remembers. I carry you in how I pause when someone says your name, in how I smile at old songs before the tears come, in how I still turn to share things with you, instinctively, foolishly, faithfully. I'll tell you that now I see it clearly. You didn't leave to disappear. You left to stay, not in a ghostly, haunting kind of way, in a grounding, ever-present kind of way. I see you in the way sunlight hits my coffee, in the laugh of a stranger, in the way I hug a little longer now. I'm trying to pass on something I learned too late. Loneliness still knocks. Of course it does. So does sadness. They're persistent guests, but they don't consume me like they used to. Now they sit with me, respectfully. They talk, they reminisce, they try to lure me back, but I don't let them lead anymore. They lurk, but they don't conquer. They whisper, but they don't define. And how could they, when you still feel so alive? I know now that grief isn't a straight road. It's a spiral staircase. Sometimes you think you're climbing, and then suddenly you're back at the same spot, just one floor higher. The view's different. The air's thinner, but the ache's familiar. I'll tell you something else. Maybe the most important thing. I'm learning to smile again. For real. Not the kind of smile you fake for others while your chest caves in. The real ones, the kind that start behind your ribs and reach your eyes slowly, like warmth returning to frozen limbs. Your memory, it's no longer a weight I carry. It's a rhythm I move to, a beat that guides my steps. You're not the wound anymore. You're the scar that proves I healed. You're the echo I learned to dance with, not the silence I feared. Some nights I still cry, and you know what? That's okay. Tears are just the body's way of saying, I still remember, I still care. I'll tell you that I've made a promise. One you didn't ask for, but one I made anyway. I will fight, I will live, I will grow. Not despite you, but because of you. I will become something you'd be proud of. Not perfect, but present, awake, willing. So that when we meet again, you'll see me and say, you kept going. Even when it hurt. Especially when it hurt. Because now and always, you live in me. You pulse in the pauses between my sentences. You breathe in the moments I stand still. You flicker in candlelight. You echo in my laughter, even the loud ones I thought I'd never feel again. I will never remember you, because you never left. You became the very air that surrounds the moment before a storm. The warmth of a blanket I forgot I was wearing. The smell of something that reminds me of a place I can't name, but miss anyway. The part of me that never looks back, but is never truly alone. And maybe, just maybe, that's what love does. It doesn't vanish, it changes shape, and it folds into silence, into morning routines, into the half-smile we give ourselves when no one's looking. You didn't go away, you expanded. You grew roots in places I didn't know had soil. You became 1,000 little things that somehow still feel like one. Do you still think about them? I won't need to answer, because I'll already be living it. Every gesture, every word, every choice will carry the trace of you. I am not who I was before you left, and I never will be. Because love, real love, doesn't ask us to stay the same. It asks us to transform. Like matter, like butterflies, like pain into purpose, like memories into movement, like silence, into a song only the heart knows how to hum. And when the time comes, when the air stills and the stars blink a little slower, I'll find you again, not as a shadow, not as a thought, but as the light that guided me all along. I will never remember you because you are still becoming. And so am I. You see, you never froze in time like a photograph. Number it, you kept living, moving, evolving through me, through everything I dared to become after you. You didn't vanish and you multiplied. You're the breath I take before making a hard decision. You're the silence I keep when I don't know what to say. You're the pulse in my wrist when I press my hand to my chest and wonder if I'm doing okay. You didn't just pass through my life. You rewrote it. You etched yourself into my story, not as a final chapter, but as the ink itself. And now when the world grows loud and my doubts start to creep back in, I pause and I listen. I feel that quiet presence again. Not as a voice, not as a ghost, but as that knowing warmth behind my ribs. I know now that I won't find you in old places. You don't live there anymore. You live in the way I speak to others, in the way I let myself feel, in the way I try, even when I fail. That's how I keep you close, not by clinging to what was, but by choosing, every single day, to carry what you taught me forward. So no, I won't build shrines. I won't freeze you in time. Because love like this deserves motion. It deserves to breathe. You are not the ending. You're the pause that taught me how to begin again. The stillness that birthed movement. The goodbye that whispered, go live. And I did. I am and I will. Because you left me something stronger than answers. You left me direction. Not a map, no, but a compass. A quiet, steady pull toward meaning, even in the dark. And when the time comes, when my story reaches its final breath, I'll walk into the unknown with calm steps. Not because I'm fearless, but because I'll know you're already there, in the wind, in the hush between heartbeats, in the soft, golden place where all the unfinished stories go to rest. So don't wait for me. I'm already on the way. And when we find each other again, not in memory, not in dream, but in whatever comes after, I won't say a word, I'll just smile. Because you'll know, and I'll know, that every step I took after you left was just me walking home.